Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today is a review of the AMX AC 48. Now this is a tier 8 French tank destroyer and I'm quite a fan of this tank. I really do enjoy it. I've seen quite a few people who don't like this tank for some reason and I honestly don't know why. I mean, it's got a good armor profile. It's mobile. The gun is fantastic. I mean, there's really not any downsides to this tank except for the fact that it doesn't have a turret, which is kind of just standard for a tank destroyer, so it's really nothing at all to worry about. But I'm going to give you kind of a rundown of the statistics here. I mean, it's got 1100 HP, which is like super low. I think that's the lowest HP at tier 8, if I'm not mistaken. It has about 2,375 DPM, which is okay. I mean, it could be more, it could be less. It's got about just a 10-second reload with that 400 alpha gun, so it's really not bad at all. And if you're popping the adrenaline, it can really pump out quite a bit of damage. And the great thing about this gun is it has 260 millimeters of penetration, which is a lot. I mean, you can pin everything in this tank. I mean, you can pin tier 9s like butter. So it really does help you, like, you'll see in a little whenever I'm facing this Tiger 2, I just know it very easy. It's very easy to penetrate your shots. As well, it has a base aim time of 1.9 and the dispersion is 0.326, so it's relatively accurate. It's not the most accurate thing out there, but it is, it's got enough accuracy to work with, and it really does not handicap it. So what a lot of people don't like about this tank is the armor profile. So unlike the tier 9 and 10 Foch, it has on the weak spots, the cupolas on top, those can be penetrated on the sides and everywhere. On the tier 9 and 10, you can only penetrate the middle of those cupolas. You can't penetrate the sides, it will just go through. So a lot of people find that as making the tank a lot worse because it has a much larger weak spot. But in my opinion, it doesn't actually matter. The tank still has fantastic frontal plate armor. I mean, we're bouncing tier 9 right here, and it really still kind of has a troll cupola, in my opinion. I mean, it does get those bounces on the cupola, and it's still kind of hard to miss if you do wiggle your tank. So honestly, it doesn't really bother me at all. I don't know why people think that's such a handicap for the tank. I mean, you still are able to bounce quite a bit of shells. And this is what I was talking about right here. I mean, I do switch to the pre-ammo. I didn't need to, but I did because why not? But it really does have good, great penetration on this gun. As you can see, the reload was good. When we were fighting that T-54, I mean, we just had a little bit of a longer reload than him, and it really allowed us to decimate him. But we have racked up around 200 damage already, and while this has been definitely a slower game for this tank, it's still a pretty quick damage dealer. So we're going to go for a shot here on this WT, but unfortunately he does pull back. We're going to get a little bit unlucky here, but then we're going to get some good RNG. But we get a nice shot there on that AT-15, and I can't remember, do we bounce this? Yes, we do have, like I said, that armor does still work, and that's what I was talking about with there. A little bit of an unfortunate bounce, but we did get a ricochet from that WT, which was very fortunate. We would have died otherwise. And then that AT-15 does get taken out before we can take a shot from him. And I know this was a risky move, but I thought I could do it, and I got lucky, and I did not miss that WT. Fortunately, if I had missed him, I would have died. And we're just going to finish off this WZ-111 right here, and the Object 252U will unfortunately get taken out by our teammate, so we aren't going to be able to get that last kill. But we still end the game on almost 1,000 blocked and over 3,000 damage. And this is kind of just your average game in the AMX. I mean, it really does, it's easy to pump out that damage. It's easy, I mean, you hit most of your shots, they almost never bounce. It's got the mobility to relocate. You can snipe in it, I mean, if you want. Personally, I love playing aggressive, so obviously this is an aggressive play style tank as well, so that makes me love it even more. Look at that IS-3 there, 0 damage, oof. But it really does still, for me, aggressive. It works aggressive, even with the armor profile of those cupolas. So yeah, that's my opinion on the AMX. I think it's a great tank. I think it's definitely worth the grind. No need to skip it or anything to get to the Foch 155. As well, I will be having a review on the Foch itself, the Tier 9, and the Foch 155 coming out in the next probably week or two. So we do get a very nice shot on that T49 right there. And we do get pretty lucky with that, to be honest. I was surprised that hit. And we are going to get a little bit, I do play this kind of wrong right here. I do have a lot of trouble with this T34-1 right here because I just can't quite get my gun over enough to shoot him. And I didn't want to overexpose myself too much because he does have a pretty high alpha gun. And our email one doesn't really do the best job right here. Should have gone up and rushed that guy, but he does fortunately get shot pretty hard right there. And I'm just trying not to take any damage right here. And he goes for the HE on my side, but obviously turn quick enough. Another thing about this tank, so of course, just like all the other French tanks, your sides are weak, so weak, and can be HE'd very easily. But in this one, you have a good enough traverse where most of the time it actually helps you because people are going to try to go for the HE just like that T34-1 did, and they actually miss because you have such a good enough, your traverse is good enough that you can traverse far enough where it won't penetrate, and they just do splash damage. And it honestly helps you. It's kind of a funny thing about this tank that helps out a lot of time. Now, obviously, right there, that VK did pin our cupola, but he probably could have pinned our front plate, to be honest. He has an amazing pin. But that does bring us down to a one-shot, unfortunately. And we have two T49s behind us, which, fortunately, I am able to dodge that one and pull back in time for that one. But I do need to be careful here because there are two T49s, both with me in their sights. So we do get a nice shot into that VK right there, and bringing him down to, well, a two-shot, and then that guy brings him down to a one-shot for us to finish off, which we do fortunately get that shot into the rear of the VK before he can turn around. So it's just these three guys left here, and we're going to try to get a shot here into this E75 TS, who's just at an angle where I can't pin him, but I do fortunately able to get that last shot in there right as he turns to move out of the way. So we are ahead by cap points by a lot. We have 2 caps, so even if we do start losing, if we just hold out for the caps, we will be fine. I noticed the Stir Emil is kind of pulling back, so I was like, hey, I can probably clear this guy, which then would definitely put us in the lead. He gets brought down to around 100 HP, and we actually get an ammo rack right here. Yes, we got an ammo rack. 114 damage ammo rack. Yeah, so nice. Just this E75 TS is left now, who T49 gets taken out. We are able to get another shot into him right there, and this is what I'm talking about. This tank really does work well. I mean, with that mobility, like you saw quickly, we could clear that Stir Emil, and we are going to be able to clear this E75 TS as well. So yeah, that's the AMX, and I really do enjoy the tank. I think it's underrated, and definitely don't skip it when you are grinding for the Foch 155. So, yep, like I said, more videos will be coming tomorrow about the Tier 9 and 10 one. See y'all in the next one.